Hello everyone, welcome to another exciting video as I'm going to be talking about the EB2 NIW and the EB1. This video is going to be covering the frequently asked question that people are asking about these employment-based visas. And if you are here and you're not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, I want you to go ahead, hit the subscribe button, like my video, and share it with your family and friends so that they will get to understand what this visa is all about. You never can tell or you never know who is interested in this visa, because most times when people do this, they don't want to tell you because they don't want you to spoil their plans. So stick around, stay to the end of the videos as I'll be sharing tips, information on how you could go around the employment-based visas and to get your green card journey started. Let's ride in. The first question I will be answering today, as I'll be looking through my iPad to get these questions. I've typed all the questions ready. There are more than 10 questions, so I want you to stick around as I go through these questions. And if you see me looking down, it's not because I don't want to maintain eye contact, it's because I'm reading the questions from my iPad. So let's do it. Which field of education qualifies most for the EB1 or the EB2? Now, before I go ahead, I want to say that sometimes if I say the EB1, I at almost all the time, I mean that it covers the EB1 and the EB2 because they are similar in the sense, and I will cover that in my video. So which field of education qualifies most for the EB1? And my write-up question is that all qualified professionals from various industries, whether in the technology field, healthcare, education, finance, they contribute value to the United States, and all of them are qualified. There is no special field. But if you ask me, and if I want to be biased, I would say the STEM field, those doing the biological lab research, doing something, coming out with something that will kill all the COVID in the United States. These are the people that qualifies most, because the USCIS, it's keen, and the White House is keen on looking for STEM graduates to stay in the United States. And in addition to this, the STEM graduates, they get 3 years of OPT, and the non-STEM get 1 year. So I think that actually answers the question that one field is more important than the other. But which field qualifies most? Every field qualifies for the EB1 or the EB2. And my next question here is that what does the NIW stand for? The NIW stands for National Interest Waiver, and which is a category of the US green card application process, specifically under the EB2 visa category. Generally, the application for the second preference employment-based visa requires a job offer, but the NIW on it means that you're applying for a visa category that is in the national interest of the United States, meaning that when you are applying for this EB2 NIW, you are asking for something special. Let me put it that way, and let me just leave it there for now. Yeah, my next question is, must I have a bachelor's degree or an advanced degree to qualify to be eligible to apply for the EB2 or the EB1? My straight answer is no, you don't need a bachelor's degree. You don't even need an advanced degree like a master's or a PhD. And yes, stay with me as I will clarify more on this question as we go through. So then my next question is, who is eligible for the NIW? And I would say right away, the person that is eligible is those that have at least an advanced degree. Now, if you watch me a few seconds ago, you will notice that I said you don't need an advanced degree, but I'm also saying again that you need an advanced degree. If you have like a bachelor's degree or a PhD, you are eligible and you're qualified to apply. And if you don't have a bachelor's degree and you have something that is, in some countries, they have degrees that are not up to a bachelor's degree, but it's like a degree, like an associate degree. So associate degree is not a bachelor's degree, so you qualify also for the EB2 NIW or the EB1. And I would say that you probably will have generally a better chances if you have like an advanced degree, but it's not a requirement. so that you must have an advanced degree to win your case. A bachelor's degree is okay for you to win your case, or even an associate degree. And is the EB2 NIW or the EB1, is it actually a green card? So if my case get approved, does it mean I have a green card? Yes and no. And what do I mean by yes? Once my case is approved, it means that I can actually apply for the green card, which is the I-485 application for adjustment of status. But if my NIW is approved, it doesn't mean that I have a green card. The NIW or the EB1 is not a legal status in the United States. You might need to apply for the adjustment of status for you to be legal in the United States. Let's move on. So what are the judging criteria for the EB2 NIW? Let me stick with this one for EB2 NIW. And on the USCIS website, as you can see on my screen, they said that you need an official academic record showing that you have a degree, diploma, certificate, or similar award for a university or an institution of learning. So I always encourage people that I'm working for that if you are showing that you have a degree, be sure to include a transcript, because the requirements say that you want to show that you have academic records. So provide them your degree certificate and give them the transcript. And if you have a foreign degree, do like an evaluation. There are so many evaluating agencies out there that you could use. So provide an evaluation of your degree. And also you could provide the letters documenting at least 10 years of full-time employment. And they're also looking for license to practice your profession and evidence that you've commanded a high salary. I'm just going through the criteria. I'm not going to go in depth into these criteria. If you want to know more about these criteria, please check this video. It's going to give you more information where I go in depth in the criteria. And also, you also need to show membership in a professional association and recognition for your achievement, significant contributions to your industry or field by your peers, government entity, professionals, or business organizations. Now, these are the criteria listed on the USCIS website, and they were kind enough to tell us that if you don't have any of these, you could also provide comparable evidence. Now, the next question I want to go through says, may other evidence be considered in addition to the listed 6 criteria of exceptional ability? Yes, I just said it a few seconds ago that you could provide comparable evidence, and USCIS will be kind enough to consider the comparable evidence that you have provided. My next question that I have here is, I do not have a bachelor's degree. What should I do? And if you don't have a bachelor's degree, you to go through the exceptional ability route, where you show that you have these criteria listed. At this point, the comparable evidence may not actually be accepted. I may be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that you have to provide the listed evidence criteria that they are looking for. But one of the things that you have to show is that you provide that you have official record, a bachelor's degree, official record of your degree, something related to like a degree, certificate, diploma, or similar award from a college, university, or institution of learning relating to your area of exceptional ability. Remember, I said relating to your area of exceptional ability, which means that your degrees have to, your diploma, not your degree, your diploma or whatever you have that is not up to a bachelor's degree have to be something that when you put it side by side with your area of exceptional ability, they could talk to each other. My next question that I'm looking at here is that who qualifies under the EB2 NIW, the national interest waiver? And the straight answer is that a foreign national, anyone that is not a US citizen, of course, if you're a US citizen, you are not applying for the EB2 NIW, that is qualified. And a foreign national who passes the 3-prong test in matter of Danasa decision. And what are these 3-prong tests? He said, A, proposed endeavor is of national merit and national importance, and you're well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor, and whatever you are going to be doing within your proposed endeavor is of significant benefit to the national interest, the United States now. Yeah. So how much does the EB2 NIW cost or the EB1 petition cost? And how much does it cost? And what form do I need to fill to submit? To submit the EB2 NIW or the EB1, you have to submit the form I-140. And how much does it cost? It costs $715 plus you have to pay $300 asylum fee. So in total, it is $1,015. My next question is a job offer required for the EB2 NIW? No, you don't need a job offer. You don't even need to have a job. You can be jobless and apply for this stuff. What matters here is the three-prong Danasa test, where you are demonstrating that you are well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor, and your proposed endeavor has substantial merit and is of national interest, and you're also showing that your proposed endeavor will significantly benefit the national interest. So you don't need a job offer. You don't need a job offer. So can I apply as a student? Yes, a student does not have a job. A student is a student. What are the main advantages for applying for the EB2 NIW? First advantages I want to say out loud here: you don't need a labor certification. A labor certification is where an employer files for you and you don't need to do all that. And you don't need a job offer or a permanent job. You don't need to have a permanent job. That is the flexibility of it. And you could self-petition by yourself. You can do it by yourself. Is the EB2 NIW or the EB1 extraordinary ability visa difficult to apply? I would say yes and no. And it depends on how you want to see it. Because when you are applying for this employment-based visa, you are showing that you are seeking the EB2 NIW standard, and you're showing that your qualifications are significant enough to prove prospective national benefit. And this national benefit is in the hands of the USCIS, the immigration officer, to decide. But the immigration officer decides on this case, but the burden rests on you to establish that you have extraordinary ability. You have performed at the top of your peers. You are relatively performing better than people in your field, and you have evidence to show for that. How many publication and citation are sufficient to meet the EB2 or the EB1 requirement? USCIS does not actually list that you must have a publication, you must have citation. So in other words, there are no minimum publication or citation requirement. Rather, it is determined by USCIS on a case-by-case basis. Now, if you've been following me, you will notice that I mentioned that you pay $300 for the asylum fee. So who pays for the asylum fee? I'm not applying for asylum. Why do I have to pay for it? Now, it is, as long as you're applying for the EB1 or the EB2 NIW visa, you have to pay for the asylum fee, which is $300. And the fee determines small employer petitioners as those with 25 or fewer equivalent employees, and such petitioners will pay for $300 rather than the $600 asylum program fee, which means that if you have more than 25 employers, you pay $600, but if you have less than 25 employers, you pay $300. So I'm not a business owner. I don't have employees. Why should I pay the $300? It is just a rule. You are considered an employer when you're applying for the EB2 or the EB1 petition. Can I pay with my credit card since I do not have cash? I am broke. Yes, you can pay with your credit card. And if you're doing so, you have to fill one GI 450 credit authorization for credit card and transaction. And I will tell you that there are pros and cons of filling this form, because sometimes when USCIS runs your credit card and it's declined the first time, they're not going to try it, and this might delay your petition. This might delay them from fully accepting your petition and moving on. So the next one I want to talk about, the next question I have here is how should I organize the evidence with the petition? And I would say that I've made a video on this. I'm going to link it up in the description panel. Be sure to follow my videos and watch it and see how you could organize your petition. Now, what is a letter of recommendation for the EB2 or the EB1? Now, I would say that the letter of recommendation is also called a reference letter, where it is written by an expert in the foreign nationals field or otherwise authoritative individual in an allied or relative field. And recommendation letters are essential in petition for employment-based immigration benefit. That is all I'm going to say. You need recommendation letters. And whom should I contact on letters of recommendation for EB2 NIW? Before you could get strong letters from both your inner circle of friends and your outer circles, and you could get from those who you've worked with, your professors, someone who maybe someone you follow on LinkedIn, someone you think that knows you very well and can give a detailed description about your publication, or someone who has cited your publication. They can write a strong letters of recommendation for you. And how many recommendation letters do I need? There is no specific amount, but I would say a good number is 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is a good number. May a PhD student apply for the EB2 NIW? Yes, you can be a student. I already mentioned it. You don't need a job offer, so a student can apply. I'm outside the US. Can I apply for the EB2 or the EB1? Yes. Anywhere in the world you can apply. You don't need to be in the US to apply. However, when you apply and your petition gets approved, you have to go through consular processing to get your visa to come to the United States, since you are outside you are outside the US. Now, what if I'm an F1 student or J1? Can I apply for this employment-based visa? Yes, you can apply. I have already stated it that a student can apply. What is the difference between the EB2 NIW and the EB1 employment-based visa? Is it possible to file both of them at the same time? Yes, you can file both of them at the same time. However, the two of them are different. They are similar, but they are different because they have different language. The EB1 is extraordinary ability, and the EB2 NIW is a national interest waiver, where you are saying that whatever you're going to do, your proposed endeavor is of national interest. But the EB1, you are showing exceptional ability in terms of your publication, your high salary, your citation record, the originality of your published paper, and the relevance of that paper in your field of your endeavor. And my last question that I have here is that if I do not have published articles in journals within my field, may I still apply for the EB2 or the EB1? Yes, with a capital letter, yes. And I say that because the criteria listed several things that you have to submit to apply, so you don't need to have a published paper. You could have other things that fulfill, that meets the criteria of the visa. And this is why I come to the end of my video today. I'm sure that you enjoyed watching my video, and if you think that this video is valuable to you, go ahead and subscribe to my video, because I think that a subscription from you is equal to an approved petition. Thank you for watching my video. I will see you in my next one.